Turning now to your community focus, we are joined live in studio by Democratic candidate for governor, Dr. Daniel Muñoz, to talk about why he is running. Thanks again for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
So I want to start with a policy question. You recently tweeted that $19 an hour isn't a livable wage. Your opponent, Matt Brown, who was here a few weeks ago, is campaigning on a $19 minimum wage. It's currently $12.25 in Rhode Island. Some critics say $19 is too high. So are you saying that that's too low?
I'm saying that people cannot afford to live off of $19 an hour. If you look at MIT and how it formulates a livable wage, $18, $19 may make sense for a college student, but when you talk about someone with a child, it's really $34, $35 an hour, and that's for one child, not counting 2, 3, or 4. And oftentimes those formulas really don't address whether it's a single parent or two-parent household. So no, it's not enough, and we need to do more. And if we're using language like livable wage, we should be very clear about what it means, and it's not $19 an hour.
So let's be very, very clear about what it means. Is it that $34 or $35 an hour amount?
Absolutely. That's what we should be striving for, which is why I've proposed a supplemental wage program with some of the ARPA dollars that we have to ensure that for the micro businesses that employ many of our minimum wage earners, that they ultimately will have supplemental funds to provide those minimum wage earners with a livable wage and to get them into our Rhode Island Promise program to build their skills up over time.
So if you're elected governor, you're going to propose that the minimum wage increase to $34 or $35 an hour. How quickly?
Well, I'm actually proposing a supplemental wage program. So yes, we should have the basic minimum wage continuing to increase in an accelerated path beyond $19 towards $25. But with a supplemental wage program, we can meet them halfway and really get them to that point where, yes, a single parent household with a child is making, in fact, $35 an hour.
One of your Democratic opponents, Secretary of State Nellie Gorbea, recently released her tax returns. Do you think this is important for candidates to do, and do you plan to do the same?
I think it's important for those who hold office to do it, and certainly I plan to do so as well. You know, I understand that there's a need to demonstrate certain numbers to validate ethics, and I'm completely open to doing that, which is why we have ethics forums that we complete on an annual basis. With that said, I think there are many things that we should be focusing on in terms of programmatic solutions, and many of the other opponents are not.
So only if you're elected will you release your tax returns?
Right. It's the law that elected officials would release them, so absolutely I plan on doing that.
We learned today that Governor Dan McKee has withdrawn unexpectedly from a scheduled candidate forum that's scheduled for next week, hosted by the Rhode Island Public Expenditure Council, or RIPEC. Our own Steph Machado will be the moderator of that forum. And I do want to note that we have repeatedly asked Governor McKee to appear here on 12 News at 4 for one of these Q&As, but they have not agreed to do that. So what's your reaction to the news that he won't be participating next week? Yeah,
well, I think, you know, he has to acknowledge that problems exist, and then he has to propose solutions, and he neither wants to acknowledge that problems exist and does not want to propose solutions. I'm the candidate that, in fact, has, since last year, and I continue to be the only candidate that has programmatic solutions laid out in my platform at governor2022.com.
On the topic of fundraising, like it or not, money matters in politics. Some new numbers are going to come out on Monday. At last check, you had just around $3,000 in campaign cash in your account. It's far behind your opponents. What can we expect to see on Monday?
Yeah, well, we dedicated a lot of time to making phone calls, going through the traditional path. The fact is that there are power centers in Rhode Island that tend to donate more to certain establishment candidates. I'm an outsider. It's always going to be difficult, but with that said, I believe Rhode Islanders are ready for change, and if there ever is a time to change electoral politics in Rhode Island and to push away from cronyism and towards progress, hopefully voters will see that it's me.
The last time you ran, you got 2% of the vote. Are you hoping to get more campaign cash to push you much further than that 2%?
We continue to be open to those who want to support us with donations. With that said, last time I was excluded from the televised debate, so I'm hoping that this time, having learned from the past, having proposed solutions and ideas, that I'll be invited to the televised debates, and I think the Rhode Islanders will see that I'm the candidate for Rhode Island.
And last question for you, Doctor. Some Democrats have said that you have some great political talent, but they wish that you were running for a lower office, maybe something in the General Assembly rather than going for governor right out of the gate. Have you given that any thought?
I've reflected on this long before I ever decided to run the first time. Where is the intersection of healthcare, commerce, education, everything that needs to be changed, and basically where can I dedicate my skills to effecting that change? It's in the governor's seat. And when it comes to climbing up a ladder, why climb a crooked ladder? Why be groomed by political operatives if at the end of the day you know that the person on the other side of that will not be the same? I'm running, I know who I am, I know what I'm fighting for, and it's for the next 7 generations here in the state of Rhode Island.
Dr. Daniel Muñoz, thank you so much for your
you.
time today. And he joins 4 other Democrats also seeking the governor's seat: former Rhode Island Secretary of State Matt Brown, current Secretary of State Nellie Gorbea, incumbent Governor Dan McKee, and former CVS executive Helena Foulkes, as well as Republican political newcomer Ashley Kalis, who has just recently joined the race. And looking ahead to tomorrow, when Representative Deborah Giro will join us in studio to talk about her race for the lieutenant governor's seat.